I moved my bed today all by myself. See, I need stronger hands, mine is strong enough. So I'm recording my album in a studio in Brighton Beach, which is in Brooklyn, and I'm working with a sound engineer. His name is Brandon Wilde, and he came highly recommended from a few friends who recorded really great albums with him. We've done close to 40 hours so far in the studio, and I expect we'll do somewhere between 80 and 100. So we are about halfway through, or almost halfway through, and it's been really great to work with him because he's really easygoing, he's very focused, he's quick, and it's been a really good experience. Well, it felt pretty good, but I think next time I might ask for help. You see that I'm not perfect, not here or anywhere. Well, let's just get that straight. I'll see where I can go. No, but we'll just get that straight and see where we can go from there. Yeah, that felt better.
That was cool.
Cool.
Yeah, that was way tighter.
Awesome. Yay.
Nice.
All right. The title track of my album is Odyssey, which was a song that I wrote a few years ago about a trip that we took out west. We drove from Arizona up to Seattle on Route 1. So we were driving through the redwoods, and it was so beautiful. We had a destination where we had to get to soon, but then it just started to torrential downpour, and the rain was so intense that we couldn't really drive through it, so we had to stop. And my boyfriend, who was driving the car, got out and just kind of stood there in the rain. And it just kind of was one of those moments where you can't plan this, interrupts your intentions of what you want to do next. And it was just kind of beautiful. It was this rain in the redwoods, in the redwood forest, and you're away from home and doing something that's out of the norm, and you're just so happy to be where you are. So I wrote this song about that, and I called it Odyssey because it was about the car that we were in, which is a 1997 Honda Odyssey. We took a lot of road trips in that car. So I wanted to name the album in, kind of in honor of this car and on these journeys that we've taken. And I never felt so happy. Mexico is a song by Cake. They're a really great band, and I really love writing arrangements for the trio that I'm in, Emily, D'Angelo, and Elizabeth Means. They play oboe and cello, and I just loved the idea of taking that song and taking the bass line and the guitar line and the trumpet and arranging it for this trio. And I wanted to kind of make it more of a ballad because it's a really sad song. It's about this, guy who loves this person and has to leave. They're bound for Mexico, for whatever reason. So I liked the idea of making it a little slower and putting different instruments on it, orchestral instruments, and kind of making it a little more nostalgic. So Sally is a song that I'm going to put on the album. It's a song that I've been working on and just kind of started to revisit recently.
When she would fall fast asleep, your darling became his reverie. Dark as the night, he went away, the promise to never leave.
I kind of decided to come up with an arrangement for it, put English horn on it, which is a really dark instrument, and cello. What it's about basically is a woman, Sally is her name, and I don't really know a Sally, but sometimes I like using names of whoever to kind of represent this person that may be more than one person. But it's just about a woman who's had her heart broken that kind of just can't love again or shut herself off to love.
Sally, won't you come with me? I will find you a man that will set you free. Sally, won't you come with me? I will find you a man that will set you free.
I wrote the song Joanne for my first album, and I wrote it about my mother. I wrote it back in college, and when I was living in Ireland in 2007, I played that song a lot, and I was performing with a bunch of other musicians and friends, and they all kind of wrote other songs called Joanne, different versions that they wrote about different people or fictitious characters that all had this name, Joanne. And so there were other versions written by friends, 2 through 5, and then I wrote another one, so I called it Joanne 6.
The rose again, and a rose blooming in a field, wild and free.
It's a song about missing someone who's away, just kind of longing for that person and remembering. It's kind of a dream song about going from place to place with the person you love, and the lyrics are memories of you travel like the moon, and I always have these memories. I always get more nostalgic at night, and that longing at night that can be so intense for someone that's not there.
How quiet the city when you take a breath that takes me town to town, without ever leaving your side. And I've been stronger. You have known me more.
Another one that I wrote kind of a while ago was If I Were Water, which I was writing while I was recording my first album. I got the idea for it in a deli when I was buying coffee, rushing to the recording session, and I had to write down the lyrics on a napkin, which I couldn't find for like a week, and then finally found it at the bottom of my bag and had these lyrics for it. I think that when I record, I tend to write a lot because you're making music a lot, you're in the studio, you think of other ideas. So I think I kind of started to write songs while I was in the studio for the first album that will now be on this album.
If I was water, then you, my friend, were snow. Well, I would freeze
I would say that the feeling of the album is mainly, I hate to say the word nostalgia, but it's sort of, I mean, a lot of the songs that I write are about some nostalgia for another place or another person that's in another place, and a lot of the songs that I write are about longing, and I think a lot of the songs in my first album are about that. I think any album that you record is a mark of a time in your life. It's like a tattoo. You know, you record songs from a particular time of your life and you put them in some sort of collection that represents something. And this album to me is, you know, it's my second album. I feel like maybe I've developed as a songwriter. I've kind of thought about my craft a little more. I wouldn't say they're better songs than my first album, but they're different. And this one for me is, it's a journey. It's these songs I've written have been, you know, they're parts of me. And a lot of them have to do with travel and experiences. And they mark a certain time of my life. And that's the great thing about a song, is it's like taking a picture. It's a memory. You can re-feel this every time you sing it, and it doesn't go away. The feeling, reliving that memory, and that's really the beauty of making an album, is it's a mark on a certain time of your life that you always have and you can always remember.